My Lord and my God, I firmly believe that you are here, that you see me, that you hear me. I adore you with profound reverence. I ask your pardon for my sins and grace to make this time of prayer fruitful. My Immaculate Mother, Saint Joseph, my Father and Lord, my guardian angel, intercede for me. See? So begins a video I saw last Christmas made by Paola Pablo. If you may want to look it up, it's titled La Llamada de Adviento. It's in Spanish, but it's quite understandable. The call seems to be coming from someone in a distant country. She picks it up and starts, "Hi, oh, Jesus, is that you? Wow, you're thinking of coming over. That'll be fun. In fact, look, I'll be totally free during the upcoming long vacation next summer. Is that okay for you? Which dates exactly do you prefer coming?" Then she goes through her diary and listens for a reply. "In 4 weeks. Today, December 21st, Jesus will say rather, in 4 days. Yes. 4 days? Yes, 4 days. And then you see the girl startled. No, it's too sudden. Jesus, see, I really cherish your visit, but now I have a very tight schedule with so many pending matters. I have to go shopping in order to purchase the necessary items for the festive days. I have to prepare the dishes. The house needs to be decorated for Christmas and some repairs to be done. Besides, I need to go to the hairdresser. Now, I remember a family relative is arriving today and I have to go pick her up from the airport and so on. As you can see clearly, I'm just too busy, so busy that I may not even have time to attend to you. It's just not the best time to choose to come. Try another time. Oops, one might say. She misses the point. Clearly misses the point. Then the video will go on encouraging the right response to Jesus announcing his coming to stay with us. The drama ends with the girl who, on realizing her mistake, picking up the phone to apologize, promising that she's ready to welcome him and receive him well at the appointed time of his visitation. What do you think about the ringtone of that call? Listen to that again. That leads me to the second experience I wanted to share with you. I remember talking with someone when my phone sounded. Luckily, it wasn't a call, but a reminder previously set, which I immediately silenced to avoid distractions from our conversation. But my interlocutor said, "Hey, I like your ringtone." Maybe you're familiar with ringtones. Let's see whether you like this too. And it goes on. It's titled Donkey. That sounds boring. Anyway, you might ask, why this particular ringtone? I'm still using it. Someone said he likes it. In fact, thinking about it later, I decided to go find out more about musical ringtones. And I discovered that it's a recent evolution of the late 90s, 1990s, when mobile phones with customizable ringtones came out. Now, why this ringtone? What is the choice? What is the factor behind our choosing one ringtone over the other? And I think at least it's usually that we want to choose that music, that melody that strikes a chord in me and urges me to answer the call, or that prompts me to attend to the task being reminded of. Turning to you again, Jesus, I wouldn't ask whether you had ringtones, which ringtone you chose, because back then we neither had electricity nor even no mobile phones. But I will ask myself, what ringtone would I attach to your telephone calls if ever you were to call me by phone? Of course, I'll reserve the best for you. Somehow, the readings of today's Mass have got a lot to do with voice alert that prompts to action. Though Jesus, you don't speak at all today in the Gospel, still Elizabeth hears something, a voice, a unique melody that strikes a chord in her. How come? St. Luke tells us in the first chapter of his Gospel, in those days, Mary arose and went with haste into the hill country to a city of Judah, to the house of Zachariah and Elizabeth. Mary enters the house. Now, as soon as Elizabeth hears the greeting of Mary, the child in her womb leaps. You could say Elizabeth is visibly shaken, and so is the child in her womb. The Virgin Mary's voice creates a deep impression in Elizabeth and resonates within her whole self, pregnant of St. John the Baptist. And what is this about Mary's voice, of a simple girl's voice from Nazareth? With a bit of knowledge of music, you and I may ask, on what key is Mary's melodious greeting to Elizabeth? What chord has been played which Elizabeth so much liked, like a musical ringtone that prompts to action? What chord has been played which prompts Elizabeth to move into action, to sing, to jubilate, and to praise Mary who just came visiting? If only you and I could analyze Mary's melody, the key or chord, the octave, the tempo, and so on, we could try to replay the musical instruments and maybe enjoy what Elizabeth and everyone in Zachariah's house experienced, and even dance along if it's called for. Earlier in the scene, St. Luke tells us Mary had just come to know about her vocation, thanks to the annunciation by angel Gabriel. She has conceived of you, Jesus. She's pregnant of you, bearing you in her womb. Permit me, Lord, to think of her voice at that time of arrival at Zachariah's house as that ringtone announcing your call, your visitation. You don't speak for now as an infant within the womb of Our Lady, Jesus, but Mary speaks. She speaks and acts on your behalf, with you, in you, through you. And this is what I want to do as well all these days, to be like a ringtone of your incoming call, announcing your visitation to each person around me in this Christmas. Like Mary, may my gestures of closeness, affection, and of love strike a chord in everyone I encounter, despite any differences we may have, like what has occurred between Mary, your mother, and ours, and Elizabeth, who witnessed a transformation filled with the Holy Spirit that made her to sing, to proclaim, "Blessed are you among women, and blessed is the fruit of your womb." And then she keeps on confirming Mary in her path. And why is this granted me, that the mother of my Lord should come to me? For behold, when the voice of your greeting came to my ears, the baby in my womb leaped for joy, and so on. Mary's voice is the voice of my beloved, as we hear in the first reading of today's Mass, the Song of Songs, Song of Solomon. Singing is a language of love. St. Augustine will say, singing pertains to loving. It is of lovers to sing. The Song of Songs continues, "Arise, my love, my fair one, let me see you. Let me hear your voice, for your voice is sweet, and you are lovely." The visitation of Mary to Elizabeth is a charitable gesture to Elizabeth, and her wholehearted kindness is manifest in her voice as she greeted Elizabeth, because Mary was in tune with your loving gesture, Jesus, that of becoming man for my sake, for our sake, only out of love. How can you, listening, be in tune with Jesus? Surely I will need to appreciate Jesus' birth at Christmas. I will need to enter and discover the love God shows us by sending us His Son to be born as man like us. And like Mary, I will humbly try to voice your love out and strike a chord in the others for them to rejoice too. Recently, I witnessed something similar, going out to give some packs of food I could spare to 3 or 4 children by the road. Later, they came with other children, more than 10 of them. I would say 15, 20, who came asking for food or money. But also saying some things in Arabic that I couldn't pick out very well. Allah ibaraka, Allah bless you. Their own way of saying, blessed are you by God. May God bless you. For me, it was a moving experience, I must confess. One of these children, a girl amongst them, is named Maria. And it helped me reflect a lot on what we gain also when we show affection to the others, when we go out to meet the others in their needs. Elizabeth is visited by Mary. And then the voice of Mary, the voice of the beloved, the ringtone of Jesus, announcing Jesus' coming, moves both Elizabeth and the baby in her womb, such that Elizabeth started blessing Mary, "Blessed are you among women." And then finally, you, Jesus, "Blessed is the fruit of thy womb." We can all repeat today's scene these days among the persons who shall relate with these days of Christmas and New Year, sending felicitations by phone calls or digital messages. Above all, by surprising them with gestures of kindness. Some might be celebrating their birthdays or anniversaries these days, and we would like to congratulate them. Let them too rejoice. We want to rejoice with them. But Jesus cherishes more our attention to the poor, who might have little to celebrate Christmas with. They reserve a blessing for us when we go out to meet them, the blessing of the baby Jesus. We too can listen to Mary, who brings us Jesus. We can end this time of prayer with an advice from a favorite saint, Saint Josemaria Escrivá, found in his book The Forge, number 137. Your love for Our Lady should be more lively, more supernatural. Don't just go to the Virgin Mary to ask her for things. You should also go to give. Give her your affection, give her your love for her divine Son, and show her your affection with deeds of service to others who are also her children. I thank you, my God, for the good resolutions, affections, and aspirations which you have communicated to me in this meditation. I ask your help to put them into effect. My Immaculate Mother, Saint Joseph, my Father and Lord, my guardian angel, intercede for me.